If you have been considering hosting a retreat, but you're not really sure where to get started, then this video is for you. Hi, my name is Brianne, and this channel is all about living out your life to the fullest intentionally. And with this episode, I really wanted to talk about going after just hosting the Dagon retreat. I know a lot of us, it's been on our heart and we're like, ooh, I see the vision, like I see the opportunity, I see the people that I could serve, but I don't know where to start. That was me this time last year, where in April I was like, okay, we're gonna do this. Like, it's been too long where I've thought about the idea. Friends have told me, girl, you doing a great job with hosting events, hosting trips, like go ahead and put on your first retreat. And I will say the first thing that you obviously have to do is figure out a date. I knew that I needed to give people at least four to 5 months. So let me see. I made the decision in April that I was going to host the retreat. I started marketing that in July. So there was a bit of time like getting together the website and also figuring out what are the best times to go to Thailand, what are the best parts of Thailand to go to where they actually have luxurious and modern villas. If you are considering hosting a retreat in Thailand, Yamu Village in Phuket was an incredible corner of the island where all of the houses there were like these, it almost felt like the Beverly Hills of Phuket, where it was just like this long row of mansions and everything was like essentially built on top of each other on a hill and overlooking the water. It was absolutely stunning. But yes, so if you're looking for places to consider in Phuket, definitely check out Yamu Village. It is a bit on the pricier side. I stayed in several parts of Phuket before, and that was definitely the most expensive, but I also knew that I wanted to provide a high-end and luxurious experience for the ladies attending, so that's just what came with the territory. So first things first, figuring out the time of, well, I would say first things first is what country you want to go to. Next, doing your research and figuring out what time of the year is the best time to go, be it with, especially when it comes to weather, if you're going to be having a retreat where you want to have outdoor excursions, the last thing you want is to be there during monsoon season and the girls are pissed. So that's the second thing. Third thing then is figuring out okay, how much do I actually want to profit when it comes to this retreat? I have had several people share with me that sometimes when you're putting on events, whether it's a conference, whether it's a retreat, whether it's just a really big event, that cost creep can be something that really eats at the opportunity for you to even make money after all of the hard work and time and effort that you put into putting on the experience. And so for me, I knew how much I wanted to profit after all of again, just the work I put into creating the experience. And from there, I did cost estimates. So how much would it cost for the villa? How much would it cost for the excursions? How much would it cost for transportation? Because I did provide round trip transportation to and from the airport, as well as, to and from all of the respective excursions. So once I figured out how much that cost, I then added whatever the profit was that I was looking to make so that I could then define how much I needed to charge everyone. When I had that figured out, I then created the website, and I created my website on Canva. No, I didn't. I created my website on Squarespace, and it's briannerenee.com. If you ever want to go check out how I built out my website, I had a few iterations, and I think one of the biggest things in the website build out is focusing on how what transformation and how you want people to feel after the experience, instead of being boom boom boom, you're going to go to this excursion, you're going to stay at this type of villa, really I guess painting the picture of how you want a woman to feel and the characteristics and traits that you want her to embody, and also envision that she can experience when she's on that trip. So that was the next thing, was all things website. And then it was just months and months of marketing, to be quite honest. While I was marketing and as I started to get more people signing up, that's when I started pivoting into doing the research for the excursions themselves. So I knew high level I wanted to go to an elephant sanctuary. I knew I wanted to have a nice formal dinner. I knew I wanted to do the PP Islands. And so there were some things that were definites. And then I also allowed the ladies to decide on the additional excursions that we did. So we did a cooking, no, we didn't. We did not do a cooking class. That was second place. We did a food tour. And so, figuring out which ones were the most reputable, but also the most, uh, it was reputable, but also the highest quality experience. Like I was not going to budge on quality because that's what the ladies who attended were paying for. But I did want to ensure that, I did thorough research on things to look out for and all that jazz. So honestly, everything ran super smoothly because of the fact that I did my due diligence prior to. So again, like when you're in the process of that in between where it's like marketing and sales time, that is the most, I think for me, it was the most nerve wracking because like I wanted to be intentional with the ladies that I was inviting, but I also wanted to ensure that, yeah, like the intentionality piece that was really baked into how I marketed the event, which I honestly did 90% of my marketing on Instagram. But with that, I also was like, I didn't want to sign up for like 5 people for a non-refundable excursion in the event that only 3 ended up signing up. So that was a bit of a game of like double dutch I had to play where I chose to wait to um, get all of the excursion tickets locked and the villa until I had that finalized number. Now, with the villa, one thing I highly recommend and which worked phenomenally for me is whatever your number of people is that you want to invite, which by the way, you figure that out at the very beginning. Like whenever you're like, okay, I'm envisioning the experience, these are the excursions, this is the number of people, because that also impacts, the numbers that you run. But when it came to the villas, I had the max number of people that like best case scenario, if I fill this retreat out, these are the, this is a 5-bedroom, 5-bath, or 6-bedroom, 6-bath, whatever the case may be. So let's say, for example, for my retreat, I knew I wanted to have 5 ladies sign up plus me. So that meant a 6-bed, 6-bath villa, right? So that's the best case scenario. I also reserved a villa that was 5-bed, 5-bath. So this was in the event that only 4 people came to attend plus me, that was 5 people. I had that one secured as well. So I ensured that the both of those villas were refundable up until 30 days prior to the retreat. And this is crucial because the worst thing you can do is have a non-refundable villa that houses too many people. Like you're having all these empty spaces, and it was like, dang, that is now eating at the potential profit. And so, yeah, once I did have a cutoff for 2 months prior to the retreat for when people could sign up. So that gave me enough time to make sure that I canceled the villa that only had 5-bed, 5-bath since I no longer needed it. So just want to share like the tactical logistics when it comes to hosting that retreat. So once I had the finalized number of people from there, again, like the villa was booked, the excursions were booked, and it was really getting the ladies excited and acclimated with each other. So I had a call with all of them prior to the retreat just for everyone to introduce themselves, share what they were most looking forward to, sharing what they were most worried about or concerned about, just so that I could look out for those things and ensure that everyone felt both seen but also supported in the experience. So I'll do a quick recap. First thing, figuring out where you want to go and how many people you want to host. Second thing, figuring out the time of year that makes sense based off of weather. Third thing is figuring out your pricing based off of the number of people, where you're staying, and doing that cost estimate of how much the villa, the excursions, and any other experiences you may integrate would cost. The next thing is building out your website and really ensuring that people actually can feel the experience through whatever it is that you're putting out there. After that, it's focusing on the marketing and sales. So really putting yourself out there, sharing the opportunity, engaging with people in the DMs, all that jazz. And then finally getting the option 1 and option 2 of the villa secured with refundable bookings based off of like where you're seeing things trend with respect to how many people are actually going to be attending. And then after that, once you do have that finalized number of people, going through and doing the final bookings for your excursions, making sure to cancel the reservation for the villa that you're not going to do or not going to use, and then also going through the process of just really prepping the ladies, whether that's a pre-call, whether that's a Notion template that you send out, a Canva slide, which I did share out with them as well, and then enjoying the experience. And I think it's really, we oftentimes can make things a bigger deal and more challenging than they need to be. That's something I learned is like, I was chatting with one of my friends today and she was like, wait, Brie, you did all that by yourself? Like you didn't hire anyone to manage the experience or you didn't hire anyone for logistics? And I was like, no, I just had everything in a Notion template for me to essentially check off my progress as I went. Like it was, and I also think I will say, like I've hosted a ton of trips before. Like I've helped to plan a ton of birthday trips and family trips and all that. So I was used to the motions of like, okay, this is step 1, 2, 3, etc. Now this was just at a bigger scale, and with people actually paying me. So hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments, and I will see you in tomorrow's video.